I want to introduce to you guys somebody here special, but before we do that, I want to say hello. I'm Zach Meny with Flipping Out Pinball, with the Pinball Show from the Pinball Network, and originally from Straight Down the Middle, a pinball show. I think we just cut the pinball show. It's just straight down the middle now. We're so Madonna or Prince. But thanks for hanging out tonight. We are going to be chatting with one of my good friends. He is the TPN correspondent for deeproot. He is Chris Chandler. Let's see if we can get a hold of Chris here now. Does it work? Are you here?
I'm here.
Hey, he's here.
Hey, holy shit, Zach can work technology.
Poor man ain't got nothing on me. I don't have dildos flying everywhere, but you can get the feeling. I know.
You gotta start somewhere.
We got two dildos right here. Me and you. How are you today, dude?
Oh man, it's been a fun 72 hours or whatever it's been. Yeah.
It'll be fun, they said. I'll be a VIP. I get to cover a new company, they said.
That's right.
Oh man, when did you get back?
Sunday afternoon. It's like a 4 to 5-ish hour drive from there, from San Antonio to Dallas, where I live. So
okay, so you're in the Fort Worth area?
Dallas area, yeah.
Dallas area. Okay, very
Fort
good.
Worth. That's at Scrub City over to the west, you know.
It's no Frisco, right?
Well, I'm basically one suburb over from Frisco, so I'm like a 15-20 minute ride to where TPF is held.
Oh,
so
well, I know where I'm staying next year then. Screw
Dude.
that hotel.
Absolutely. Hey, I told you, lake house. Next time you come.
That is right. You did extend the invite to me.
Indeed.
Nobody else is allowed, just me. So we're going to get into some of your experience at the deeproot tour. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about that. Listeners, viewers know that they did sign, the 6 individuals that went did sign an NDA. Excuse me. So there's still some limits to what you can discuss or talk about. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. So if I and when I say something that's stupid, idiotic, or something you can't discuss, just tell me.
Can we end the stream now?
Or you can just do the... Sorry. We could do that as well. All right, who we got in chat before we start diving into this thing? Chandler, the pen handler. Yeah, poor Crystal. She's in South Carolina, I believe. Isn't that where Marco's at?
Yep. Was it Columbia, I believe? Or
come on and raise up. Jobber's going to camp out at Walmart. This is my dinner tonight, Chandler. What'd you eat for dinner?
I had a couple of liquid beverages, and then moved to bubbly. Lame. I'm not conditioned like poor men. I gotta work my way into it.
Where are the poor men at right now?
Oh, Billy YJ, get them in here.
I don't need them wrecking the stream. All right, so you traveled down there. You were down there for how long?
Let's see. I left Friday morningish. We all got down there early. Took it easy. Had a nice dinner because we had to get up pretty early to make it there on Saturday. So it was great meeting everybody. Because most of the people have probably met each other through different events, different conventions, whatnot. I'm relatively new to the hobby. I've only been doing it for a couple of years or so. So it's nice to meet the whole gang, right? But got there Friday, left Saturday or Sunday morning rather.
Heard you guys had one night where it was a little rough for you guys, partying a little bit too much, eating tacos and enchiladas or something.
Oh yeah, it's Texas, man.
People talk.
So we had a little Tex-Mex on Friday.
Nice.
A little barbecue on Saturday. Just all the stereotypical Texas tropes.
I've also heard that the deeproot crew took care of you guys while you were down there.
Oh yeah. I mean that's the one thing that before we get into any of the pinball-y stuff is, I mean the deeproot folks just open arms, brought us in, made us feel at home. Great hospitality. I mean, it was very, they were very, very nice, very accommodating, and pretty open, honestly. I really expected a whole bunch of drapes over things and lots of things hidden, and no, it's a fair amount of trust there. I was pretty surprised.
Prior to today's TWIP release of information, it was kind of a mess. I was confused as to what the hell was going on. There was many delays over the last couple of years. There was reveals planned that didn't pan out. And then you guys all went down there to do a reveal, and you seen everything, you experienced everything, but instead of rolling out something or the reveal in general, it was canceled or it was delayed or it was, I don't know what, postponed. So that was confusing to a lot of the community and probably confusing to you guys. You don't have to, elaborate on that, but I can only imagine. I was saying on Loser Kid Pinball podcast, I did not envy the aftermath of what you guys probably had to experience, getting all kinds of floods of emails and messages and calls. Is that true? Did you have a lot of people reaching out to you saying what's going on, as if you're now a spokesperson for deeproot?
Luckily, in my tenure, both on Special When Lit and here, joke I like to say, I've been able to report on two things: jack and shit. Right? There hasn't really been anything to report on with deeproot, so I'm a relative unknown. In fact, I kind of cracked a joke when deeproot posted on their Facebook page, 6 pinball celebrities were here. I was like, maybe like 5 celebrities and Chris Chandler, like that. Should have been
celebs and Chandler.
Who's this asshole, right? But so for me personally, I didn't get a whole lot of hit. I mean, I got hit up by a few people, but there's other people I know that people came out of the woodwork, to ask all manner of questions. So we were seriously walking away from this thing going, oh my God, what is like the next month going to be like? Because there's this information vacuum, and you know what happens in a vacuum? People start coming up with crazy theories and stuff like that. And honestly, that's the main thing I can think of as to why they decided to open it up, is rather than have people guess what was going on. It's like, okay, well, look, this is what we're willing to share.
I heard that their new technology and iOS system has been implanted into each 6 of you. So you guys are kind of programmed. Right now I'm talking to Robert Mueller. That's what I heard.
Yeah. We had ShillOS 5.7 installed. We're waiting for the update.
Than me. Nicely done, Chandler.
Yeah. It's
so everybody was nice down there. It was informative. It was a great experience for you overall. You want to dive into a little bit of what This Week in Pinball released today for everybody?
Yeah, I figured that's probably the best way to go through it, is just kind of, that'll keep us on track, keep us in the safe zone.
Yeah, that's right.
That's sort of what we're permitted to go into. So
we've got a note here from the tour group. Did you guys sit down, tribal meeting, and have your torches out and derive of this, or is this what is this?
Yeah, I got voted out off the island in the first round. I'm still a little bitter about it, but I'm recovering.
Gotta get the showmans going.
So I mean, that's the one thing I will say, is that early on we decided to our original plan was to try to release a joint podcast, actually.
Okay.
Like honest reactions, like that night, go to the hotel while it's still raw, record everything. And then after what happened, unfortunately, we just weren't able to do that. It's been a very collaborative group effort. Everybody keeping in touch with everybody, and making sure that that we synchronize on what it is we're wanting to say and do. So it was a really good group effort, I guess is what the best way to put it.
Was there any of those 6 media members or other 5 that you just found despicable? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, that Lauren, she's just so mean. She seems so nice, No, I'm just kidding. She's the nicest person in the universe.
Gotta love pinball media, Pink. All right. As
No,
we
I mean, I
say,
will say everybody, as far as I knew them, from their on-air aspects, they're all true to life. What you see is what you get. So
yeah, Jeff says in the write-up here that you guys got to spend a lot of time with staff, including Bowden and Quinn Johnson. They were extremely gracious and earnest and helpful.
yeah, Quinn's a cool guy. I had never met Steve either, and
Bowden's
it's
awesome.
interesting talking to Steve about the rules aspects, but hearing Quinn just talk about the narrative and stuff that they're trying to do, I mean, it was really interesting.
Very cool. Quinn's the storyteller, isn't he?
Correct. Yeah, yeah. He actually used to work on the TMNT comics, like one of the generations of it.
Oh, very cool.
So I had a little aside with him about a recent release from another company. That'll remain between he and I. But I was interested in his take on what he would have done differently.
Oh, that's nice.
But no, actually, they were Quinn and Steve were like our ambassadors that sort of made sure that we were always connected. We always had somebody to talk to.
Mhm.
Actually, Barry Osler was hanging around with us for quite a while as well. Did see
Barry.
J-Pop walking around. Talked to him a couple of times.
What was that like? Give me a little insight on J-Pop.
Didn't talk to him a whole lot. Kind of as interesting as you've seen him in different expo recordings and stuff like that.
I want to sit down with J-Pop.
Yeah, there you go,
Go
Carrie.
along.
It's not too. Yeah, it's if there was an interesting contrast between J-Pop, we would sort of see him as we walked by and did stuff, whereas Barry like actively hung out with us.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was cool. I mean, have a legend in the hobby like actively take time out and hang out with you.
Yeah, I've reached out to Barry before, asked him to be a part of something, and he was super, super, super gracious.
Yep.
What would have happened if you would have done a full embrace with J-Pop? Just behavioral characteristics. What would have happened? What would you have guessed?
I'm gonna guess HR probably would have been called. That's just.
I love Circus Voltaire.
Hey baby, let me show you my ringmaster.
That's right. Magic Girl, not so much. All right, so you guys seen the whole gang down there. Robert was hanging out. Every time I've interacted with Mr. Mueller, he's been pretty gracious and
Very much so. Yeah,
communicates very well. So I've had great experiences with him. He takes constructive criticism well, feedback well, and he even offers it in a good way as well. So you guys had a good experience with him. Tell me the first thing you seen when you walked into the doors or you're escorted into the doors. Can you say what you seen?
Can't go into a lot of detail, but I mean it's just kind
Was
of
it
your
like a
typical
lobby
office.
or okay? All right.
There weren't like people swinging from the chandeliers or like 1,000 pinball machines all over the place, right? It was just kind of looked like your traditional office cubicle farm.
Yep, that's Stern's got one of those as well. And does JJP have one at their new place? I don't know. All right, so Jeff is saying, unfortunately, due to technical difficulties with Retro Atomic Zombie Adventure Lane and other questions and concerns that were brought by the guests during and after the tour, it was clear that deeproot was not ready for launch. Mm-hmm. Now, I've read this twice now, Chandler. It sounds as if, from the official statement from deeproot, as well as the follow-up here with TWIP, it sounds as if the guests, the VIP media guests, were the ones that helped halt going forward with an actual reveal. True or false?
Hey, you got to ask Robert. It's wasn't my call. I think maybe it goes back to what you said about him taking feedback. I mean, I work in the software development industry, right? So I sort of draw some analogies from that. It's when you go and you write software, sometimes, if you don't have touch points with your actual customers, you can spend time going off building things that you have a perceived value of that maybe they don't have the same shared value. Mm-hmm. At the same time, you may have a perceived level of quality that may not match up with what the end customer is looking for. So that's kind of how I would that would be my takeaway, is that part of the challenge when you're trying to be secretive and trying not to let information leak out is, you sometimes don't have that view of the customer, right? So that's why you have things like focus groups and things like that. So that's really kind of what I would chalk it up to.
Okay. He says here in the write-up that Mueller was receptive to all of the criticisms, concerns, thoughts, and you guys appreciated his open mind. He goes on to talk about the leaked pictures of the Raza and saying that the final cabinet features, or the final, quote, under the glass features, they were waiting for parts.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get to play Raza?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Did you play it at Houston Arcade Expo?
Yeah, I did. Actually, it was seeing it at Houston that inspired me to reach out to Ken back when Special and Lit was around to become the deeproot correspondent, actually.
Interesting.
So I spent a fair amount of time when I was there at Houston. Myself, my friend Derek, my friend Joe, we spent a lot of time playing Raza, actually, much more so than anything else there. And it's hard to describe. Like, we just, am I going to say it's the best pin ever? No, but it was fun. We had a good time playing it, and, did it need some tweaks? Sure. I'm not going to bring up ramp gate, because for me, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's one of those things where you see somebody's video clip and people draw a conclusion, right? So it's the classic, I've never played this. I saw something on YouTube. I'm going to form my everlasting opinion of, this pin's worth based off that. And
so when you say it wasn't a big deal, were you able to hit that ramp pretty consistently?
Well, no, because I suck. But the times I did hit it solidly, I never really...
it didn't limp up the ramp or anything?
It never felt like it was broken or cheaty, is the best way I could put it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not Travis Murray,
yeah.
Right? But... then also there were two machines, and apparently there were two different ramps on those machines. So it's entirely possible that the machine that Travis was on was not the one, because I primarily played one machine in particular. It could just be luck of the draw that I ended up on the machine that had the less ramp gatey ramp. I don't know.
Now, when you played the new one, though, Chris, was there a difference? I mean, you've played both. Was there a difference? And if so, what stuck out to you? I
don't know how much I can talk about that,
okay.
But I'll say I was happy.
Okay, so the new experience was much better than the one at Expo.
For what I was able to play, yes.
Okay. Now, when they say technical issues, can you elaborate on that?
That I specifically cannot elaborate on.
Okay, good to know. Like to know where my boundaries are there, Chandler. Okay. So plead the fifth on it. So Jeff says, unfortunately, due to technical issues with Raza and other questions and concerns that were brought by the guests, it was not ready for launch. All right. Did they talk to you? You don't have to say what they were, but did they talk to you guys about what the final cabinet features or under the glass features would be?
There's some of that elaborated later in the article here, so we can talk about those when we get to them. Okay. I mean, one of the examples is the on the sides. The side art that they wanted to show us it's lit up from behind. Mm-hmm. So it's PETG with lights behind it and shines out. Like, they talk about that later here in the article. That was some stuff that they had a little, like I said, they were like one business day off from getting it. So
close. They were close.
Yeah.
What do you think happened? Why announce a reveal, as we're getting into the pictures here? Platform, pin bar, pin armor. Why announce a reveal if you don't know for sure that everything's going to be ready?
It's the $64,000 question, right? Hard to say.
Okay.
Again, the only thing I can think of is it boils down to that whole thing I talked about, where when you're involved with a thing for so long and you see the evolution of it, sometimes without that outside perspective, you may not quite see the forest for the trees type of thing.
Of course. It's easy. It's hindsight. I mean, it's easy to say, why did they do this? Why didn't they do that? I get that. What are we looking at on the screen here, Chandler?
Well, so that is the pin bar trademark. So if you look at the far right over there, next to Mr. Bowden's right hand there, you'll see in this particular case there's a MagnaSave. Okay. So rather than having a third physical button, the MagnaSave is there on the screen, right? But actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. The pin bar is kind of as described later in the article. It's just a full touch screen that they can really kind of do whatever they want to with. And so you can show things like scores, progression towards goals, what have you. One of the features I thought was pretty cool is just to the left of the MagnaSave, you can see sort of a stack of cards there. And that would actually tell you the different goals that are available, based off the game state, what you're doing at that point in that time in the game. And you can actually tap through them and it'll cycle through them. So it's kind of like the compass on Pirates of the Caribbean. But kind of more so, right? At the beginning, it'll start off, the whole game's wide open. And so it'll present a significant stack of cards, right? But as you say, for example, start a mode or kick off a multi-ball or something like that, then, those things will change. Okay. So the idea is as the game state changes, you can put different things there to help guide the player.
Did your hands ever touch the LCD screen, your palms, unintentionally?
Not that I recall, no. But I mean, you can tell that you. Sorry about the sneeze.
No, you're fine. Get a good
maybe not. But you can tell you kind of have to. You do have to put a little bit of thought into how you hold your hands, depending as to how much you bring them over. But I wouldn't say it was overly obnoxious or in the way or whatever. And real quick. No, it doesn't cut your damn hand. Everybody on Pinside, stop with that shit. It does cut your. It's not cutting your hand. So,
well, you can see where the inside of that LCD screen would. I mean, even Bowden being careful when a photo is taken here, he's close to that. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Feel wise, because I think I don't have a pen by me. I'm thinking that. My palm is going to touch that screen, and if that's a problem, or if there's a feel thing, or
yeah, it just depends. There's audio cues if you happen to accidentally hit the MagnaSave, for example. Okay. Stuff like that. I know in the article they talked about adding like haptic feedback or something in a future release. So there's ways to work around that.
Okay.
I have very presidential hands, so maybe I'm not the best person to make that call.
I see. Okay. Did it look that pin bar? Mm-hmm. Did it look good in person?
Yeah. It's got a seal. It's hard. You can kind of see a little bit of it. There's a rubber seal around it because that was one of our main concerns. Is like, what's going to happen if this is on route and somebody puts a beer on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say all in all, it looked pretty decent.
Visually, it looks cool with that screen on.
Yeah,
I'll give them credit there.
Yeah, and I will say another thing that I've seen people on Pinside talk about. It's like, oh, short people aren't going to be able to see the flippers. Well, I'm 5'7". I had no problem seeing it. Yeah, so I don't. If you think about how much an apron takes up and all that, it ends up being a wash from what I could tell. I mean, I'll put it this way: I didn't think like, holy crap, the flippers are further up than normal. Like it didn't register.
Are they further up than normal?
I don't know. I'm not saying they were. Just that seems to be the narrative on Pinside. So
it seems to me like it is the apron is not really an apron anymore. It's taking the arches for the outline.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
But you're not getting
where you'd have your rule cards and all that stuff. They just sort of drew a rectangle around that, and there you go. Right. So I'm not sure where that's coming from, but just wanted to put that to bed because that's another narrative I keep seeing going over and over again.
Of course. Did they talk about the size or length or width of this game? Is it a standard? Is it longer?
Yeah, no, they tried as I didn't get a ruler out or anything, but
of course.
It's supposed to be the same dimensions as a typical Bally Williams.
Okay.
So
as we're getting into
they didn't mention that in the article. Yeah.
as we're getting into the cabinet specifications here and the back box, there's going to be a couple different builds of this thing. You get an arcade build, we'll get into that. But generally speaking, the dimensions are, as Jeff at TWIP is calling, similar to Bally Williams.
Yeah.
And the general shape of the cabinet is, quote, standard with side and front areas and standard coin door.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll acknowledge that this will trigger your OCD because it's not going to look like all your other back boxes.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, it at least by appearances seem to be very similar dimensions. We didn't get to see the other, the one on the arcade edition. They only had the one on the other two editions.
I wonder if it's safe to say that the arcade edition is probably just like the damn thing they had at the expo.
Probably, but they mentioned in the article that it has the wraparound thing going on. So couldn't say for sure on that.
Okay.
Again, we didn't see it, so.
Yeah. But, I mean, if they're making it similar dimensions as the Bally Williams, then it's probably the same thing. All right. Am I supposed to know what the hell Baltic birch is? Carrie Hardy, where you at? You're a wood guy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Baltic birch, is that a good
it's
wood? I don't know.
Harder wood, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Proprietary hybrid dovetail, special adhesive process of reinforcing the joints.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a sturdy son of a bitch. That's what I'm reading. All right. Yep. Cylon style grill. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Arcade edition. Cylon style grill.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Although I think they use that same wording in both of them. So it may be what you're looking at here.
Okay.
Not 100%.
Looks more standard on this arcade edition cabinet. The back box does still have that panoramic wrap backlit artwork. Could you tell, Chris, when you were looking at this game, is it a translite? Is it a...
No, it's a solid piece of, I'm going to say plastic. It's not plastic, but almost maybe
like
it's
a plexi.
I don't know what it's made out of, but yeah, it's a solid piece that's wrapped around and with the art printed on the inside of it. The pictures, I would have to say, don't do it justice. It actually looks pretty cool in person. And yes, the analogies to a fish tank are probably appropriate.
Okay.
But because that does one of the first comments we made. But I have to say, in person, it was actually pretty impressive, and it was a little surprising to see it at first. But then the more you saw it, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So
interesting.
It's different.
Okay, a 24-inch ultra-wide high-res display.
Yeah, so that's what you're saying. Yeah, that's the same display they had in the cab at Houston.
How visually different is that than one of the newer CGC extended XL displays?
Haven't seen one of those in person, so couldn't say. Except for the fact that this is obviously fully, it's not dots, right? It's full LCD display with, proper full res animations and all that stuff.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting stuff, man. Okay, so we're looking at the main head here. They're using stainless even around that. Man, stainless it fingerprints and everything. I'm worried about that. I need to ask Robert. I need to message him and say, why didn't you...
Well, they did say, some of these things weren't final, right? So I don't know if that,
Maybe I can still talk him into chrome.
Yeah, exactly.
With a fingerprint even more. All right. So you think that this is not a translite? Were you told that it's printed on a plexi, or is it just merely...
That's just a guess.
Okay. All right.
But it is one solid unit, though. I'll tell you that. It's not three pieces glued together. Like it's very smooth line all the way around.
Gotcha. All right. Now we're going to see this hinged assisted lift and drop glass. I don't want to hear anything drop when I'm talking about glass. Glass frame and lock bar seal. What
they mean by assisted lift and drop is you see the shocks there.
Hydraulics, yeah.
So it's like a hatchback or a trunk or something, right? And I mean it's one finger and the whole thing just comes right up.
It says this is not the final version of this feature.
Yeah.
Did they tell you what the final, what are we missing then? It looks like it works to me.
Yeah, no, it seemed fully functional to me. And again, the driver behind this is, what do you do with your glass when you take it off, right? So just having it permanently attached to the machine. And they mentioned later in the article that they have we didn't see it, but there's supposedly going to be a Penn Stadium-ish, at least based off the description, is what it sounds like to me, Penn Stadium-ish type of functionality, right, with lights inside, a channel or something inside there, so it's being bathed with light from above.
Poor Scott is probably all fired up. I think he's got that thing patented and everything. Good luck.
Again, all my guess based off what was in this article, nothing that they talked about.
Yeah, same thing with me. I read the same thing. So, does this glass come out at all?
That's a good question. I didn't ask that.
Okay. All right. It looks like a longer piece of glass because I see some extensions. Chandler, can you see what I'm...
Yeah, I can see what you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the problem is the geometry of all of this is a little different, right? With that, with the pin bar trademark, it comes up, again, it comes up like an apron would, right? Whereas the glass would go all the way down. So my guess is it's probably not a different length glass. It just seems that way because that bar you see going, that metal bar you see going across there is where the pin bar meets the hood or whatever they're calling it, right?
Okay. How do you get in the back box?
There's no need to. It's all underneath.
Interesting.
Or at least that was what I understood.
Okay. Can you lift the playfield on this game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Lift the hood up. Playfield comes up too. So pretty again, I think some of that wasn't final as well. So take it for what it's worth. But yeah,
so they tell you if they're doing pull the whole damn thing out in front of the thing and twist it and turn it all around?
No, it's not that patent thing that it's got the hood part of that patent, but
gotcha.
The other part wasn't there. Again, not final.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy? I like him. Is that Quinn? Who is this guy?
That's a Unity programmer.
Unity programmer.
Yeah, that's why he's got a laptop in his hand. He's
gotcha.
Busy writing code.
All right. Does it sound good, this game?
Dude, loud as hell. I mean, you could crank this thing up, and there was no distortion on it.
Did you hear the
they had it jacked all the way up at 100%, and it was in the auditorium that we've heard so much about, which is just kind of a giant conference room with some stadium seating in it, right? Like movie style seating, and it filled that entire room with sound. So I can't imagine anybody would want anything louder. It had the ability to be very loud.
We're going to touch on a couple more parts, Chandler, and then we'll go to chat to see what they're drumming up. All right. So did you listen to and get to hear that 4.1 system? I don't know if you said that.
Yeah, that was on the one that we had, and sounded good to me.
Designed,
like I said, very no clipping. I heard very solid sound.
So this thing's running off a PC, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think they say something like this. I think they said it runs Linux or something like that. We didn't get into that when we were there.
Did they talk about accessories at all? I know we're talking about toppers here, and they've all got spots for toppers. Are they going to be selling toppers, or just come in on that big addition, or what?
I don't remember what they said in the article about accessories, so I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
Sorry, guys, I'm no Jack Danger here with this fucking stream, so bear with me.
So yeah, NS Pinball. I don't remember it being overly bassy the way Rick and Morty is, but I mean, you could crank it up plenty loud. That's for sure.
All right. Did you guys get to see the topper at all? No.
So
I'm a topper whore. Oh, okay. So we can't go either way on that one. So you might have, you might not have.
If you see a topper in this article, then I can talk about it. If you don't see a topper in this article, it either may or may not exist.
Fair game.
Schrodinger's topper.
Why in the hell, this is just me being a pinball guy and you being my buddy, why in the hell would you go all these different options? What a pain in the ass. Like, as a manufacturer, I would not want to deal with all this. So you get a vinyl-based wrap, direct print on the wood with pin armor coating, providing high-gloss hammer-tested protection, or a backlit double-printed PETG. Lighted side art panels are featured on the extra limited edition. Some other available options include standard or anti-reflect. Just pick a glass. It says fingerprint resistant glass. Carrie Hardy, were you touching that thing? Because even this Invisiglass and crap like that, it fingerprints worse than standard glass.
Yeah.
So,
are you saying that Carrie's fingers are grubbier than most, or?
You just said that, not me, but yes, they are. Not like I hate Invisiglass. I hate all that stuff because it's so hard to keep clean. But I'm gonna have to screw the hammer test. I'm gonna fingerprint this son of a bitch up.
You want
stainless steel.
test?
I'll bring my kids over. We'll see how smudge proof this shit is, Robert. Okay.
Get some Cheetos first and then send them over there.
That's right. So you talked about that earlier, but additional GI lighting to the underneath of the glass frame for a variable diffused lighting of the playfield area. Let's go back up and see what area. So I guess right through here.
Yeah, I'm guessing, again, wasn't theirs, and we didn't really talk about it, so.
It's a good idea. I like
it. Makes sense.
All right, before we get into, let's see, the tour group saw some but not all the features. Lifting glass top worked smoothly. We didn't see the Cylon-style grill with a panoramic wrap backlit artwork, but did see the floating back box with a panoramic. So, okay, so basically the same thing. The backlit side art panels that come on the extra model were due to arrive, so you didn't get to see.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. They were off by one business day. It was really close, but.
But what is that? What would that have even been?
So it's
just on the cabinet or on the head?
Way they describe it, yeah. So think of it. So I think P3's got something similar where you could slide art in on the sides.
Alien Highway, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's okay, there you go. And it's lit from within, right? So imagine, something. It's PETG. It's like same stuff they make plastics out of, right? So you have that with backlight behind it. So basically the sides light up.
Oh, okay. That'd look badass.
It would look totally cool.
Is it going to fill up the whole thing or just a panel?
What I was just talking about, it slides in on the sides of the cabinet.
Yeah,
right?
You know how like Highway is. They just got that one little spot though that lights up.
The way they described it, it sounded like it was the whole thing, but again, we didn't see it.
Bobby Pinball, you got to light that whole damn thing up, bud. Got to light it all up. Okay. So before we get into the proprietary thing that they were shitting their pants on with the pin bar, let's go back into chat and read what I'm missing. Looks like my sweet, sweet best bud Kaneda's in the house. What's up, Chris? Let's see. Chris likes the pin bar. Okay, I'm going to go through here. Dun, dun, dun. People are liking pin bar. That's a good point. I mean, looking down is easier.
Yep, absolutely. Without question.
Let's see. Chris says he'd buy a Raza if he could. Okay. All right. NS Pinball says the Houston animations were really nice, so I would fully expect that to carry into the pin bar. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Carrie Hardy says the flipper's in the same place. Apron has been turned into the pin bar.
Yeah. Okay. And that seems about right, geometry-wise and everything. Again, I didn't walk up to it and go, what the hell? Why are the flippers so far out?
Yeah. And for listeners or viewers who are not familiar, Carrie Hardy was one of the 6 media members that went there. All right. Kaneda's being mean to Derek. Don't be mean to Derek.
As he usually is.
Jobber doesn't want us to refer to Bally Williams. Okay, Carrie Hardy says birch is strong and expensive. Okay, my wood's strong and expensive as well. I didn't do the birch though. Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Every time Zach says Chris, I want to answer. I bet you do. All right, Lord of the Ring breath. What's happening? Did it look like an expensive machine, Chris, or it looked like a Value City Furniture Pinball Edition?
No, it was in every way and shape form a pinball machine. It wasn't the pin, right? It was, it had, proper coils on it and mechs and all that fun stuff. So, there's nothing about it that to me felt cheap or, phoned in per se, right?
You've played a lot of pinball machines. Is there a feel that you can compare this game to? Did it feel more soft, like a JJP, or was it more snappy and fast like a stern? Or?
No, I would say that the flippers had some aggressiveness to them. So I probably more sterny maybe. It wasn't more. In my opinion, I've always kind of felt at least on most of the JJPs, the flippers feel a little more lazy, maybe for lack of a better term. I don't know how best to describe it, but
no, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I put it more on the stern side of the spectrum.
Okay. TurboGrafx asked, and I think Chandler said before he can't answer that. Was there an actual factory? Let's see. What if their other 80s theme is Beetlejuice? Now we'll get into the themes of them. I'll give you my opinion on what they mean and if there are two 80s themes or if they were referring to one in the prior slide. All right, Tess Bishop says the flippers aren't lined up in this photo.
Yeah.
That's pretty piss poor. What the fuck? What? Okay. Were they playing this game a lot? Was this like a game that they're testing out? Did they prep this? Did it feel like they prepped this game for you guys to experience? Or did it feel like, hey, we're busy here, jump on in, see what we're messing with and how we're messing with it?
No, there were folks working on it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they just said, there's a machine over there, go have fun playing it, right? I mean, there was a concerted effort.
All right. The pin bar.
Yep.
TM.
Yeah, TM. Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a Jeff Patterson statement or if this is, or a TWIP, or if this is a Robert Mueller telling Jeff Patterson to write the most intriguing innovation on deeproot pinball machines is the pin bar. Agree or disagree, Chandler?
I would say, I mean, it's far and away the most different idea, right? You could argue the wide LCD screen is okay. It's just a squish down LCD screen, right? It as far as if you're going to look for something in this machine that no other machine has, well, I mean, this is clearly it.
That doesn't always mean a good thing, though.
No, I mean, it depends on your perspective. There's lots of reasons why, they went with this route, right? And again, it kind of goes to the pinball for the masses thing, right? They're trying to make it easier to use these things. And what does everybody know how to use? A touchscreen.
But someone could argue that this looks a hell of a lot more complicated than a fucking start button.
Oh, well, this isn't what you see whenever you walk up to the game.
This is basically what happens when you open up the coin door of a traditional game and start entering into the diagnostics.
You got it. Yep.
I wonder if there's a lock screen, though. You got kids coming up, they're pressing these damn things, and you're like, oh my God, you've turned my coils up, I'm burning stuff up here.
No, there is. You can hide the settings behind a pin. So there's different actual profiles that you can have. You can have a home profile where, maybe it's less, restrictions to get into menus and do stuff with, or a public setting. Which, is for if you're routing it or what have you. And then, in that case, there's a lot more restrictions of how to get in and change settings and so on and so forth.
Okay.
In either case, though, they have this profile system, and maybe jumping ahead in the article here, but they have a profile system that you can log in with and carry that profile with you, right? And there's things like achievements that get tied to that, and your high scores get tracked. And
is that like a Bluetooth thing?
I'm sorry?
I would think that's a Bluetooth thing, right?
No, I believe on the well, they didn't quite get into that. I don't know if you tap it in on the screen or they do have an app, and so I don't know if perhaps the app maybe helps with that. We didn't get into that too much. I saw the app very briefly.
Okay. Let's see. There's a good question up here. All right, Pirate Captain Red Eye said, was there only one machine to play?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Canada, you are something. Everybody always asks me what I think about Canada. They're like, so is it real that you guys are... I'm like, Canada is a pain in my ass, and he's a lovely man all at the same time. All right. Lucky Creature said, sounds like a video game. I want a pinball game. Didn't Scream do a video game or what?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, in fact, if you don't like the bar. I mean, it's basically used for the start button and MagnaSave. You can completely ignore all the rest of it, right? I mean, you get plenty of information on the back screen. You don't have to go mess with this thing if you don't want to. With one exception, you can't implement things like video modes on it.
Okay.
So, there was one in particular that I saw on there when we played Raza. So, don't know how much I can really share about that, but it's rather than using flippers and stuff, they do talk about this, and so I can
fruit ninja
talk about it in general.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're fruit ninjaing it up, but there's video mode type things that you can do in it for sure.
So this is the diagnostics wizard here. You get to go through the switches, solenoids, lamps, GI, sounds, etc. Here's your different gameplay settings, Raza settings, support, statistics. It feels like a basic operating system on any pinball machine. It's just more visual for you. Instead of being on the back box LCD screen a la Stern or JJP, it is merely on a display that is closer to you as you look down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's primarily what a lot of it is. It's just making it easier and less intimidating for normal humans to get in there and look at that stuff, right? And then they mentioned in the article that there would be some things around troubleshooting and stuff. Like I don't know what that would be per se. But
who's wearing the Adidas here?
I think that's Senor Patterson's.
The J-Patty?
I'm the lovely hand model in this case here.
Are you? It's a nice hand. I'm gonna have to give J Patty a hard time. It's like, Jeff, you're gonna take a picture. Just pull up the damn hinged hood on the tank there and pull that damn flipper down. All right. The pin bar is the most powerful, revolutionary innovation ever to be added to a pinball machine. It takes the modern touch display used countless times a day on our smartphones, tablets, laptops, and kiosks, and creates a permanent blank canvas for us to expand pinball with infinite possibilities. It links the physical world to the digital. It opens doors to nearly endless new ways to interact with your pinball machine. Okay.
Bigly, yes.
So we covered most of what this thing can do, and we missed a lot of it, but basically you control the whole damn thing through that.
Well, that and game, as you're playing the game, there's different game state things that you see there, right? So you're not having to look up. I think that's a big part of their philosophy of not having an entire regular height LCD is, even when you do look up, you only want to look so far up the playfield, not having to look up here for something and then have your ball drain, right? I think that's the philosophy.
Yeah. So, Lord of the Ring Breath says it well. He said, just imagine using MagnaSave with your thumb and never having to leave the flipper button. It's a good point.
No action button, right? For all those people that are out there, action button haters.
Mm-hmm. Well, one could argue this is infinite action buttons, though.
Action button lovers.
Yeah. Lovers and haters. Yeah.
You get extra action buttons for action buttons.
Brick Shot wants me to show the topper. Show me your topper, Haber. All right. So let's see here.
So that shot genie is the sort of next suggestion thing. Oh, one thing we should talk about, because I don't know if it'll come up elsewhere. It maintains a shot log, right?
Yeah,
So as you're, because this is pretty unique. So as you play the game, it goes and logs all the things you hit. Right. So, and it will group up events as appropriate. Right. If I hit a spinner, say I get 10 flips on the spinner, then it comes back to the flipper. I rip it for another 12 or something. Mm-hmm. If there's enough time between those two, it'll show up as two different events. Mm. And so, in essence, I'm going to guess that has to do with their ability to save games and start games back up, which my understanding is you could even do that on a different game. I could be wrong on that, but that was kind of the impression I came away with.
I could see that working.
And so I think that game log thing is key to that, right? If you have the timing of the events and the exact events, you could go replay that through the game rules and then like reset your game state right back to where it was, right? By replaying those events.
Sounds like a nightmare to code.
I don't know, code is code. I don't know how you do it when you're fast forwarding though, right? If I was 5 minutes into a game, do I want to sit there and wait 5 minutes? I'm hoping it doesn't work like that.
You use the pin bar. And you slide it over. Well, it's not tracking the actual path. It is
no. It's tracking the events that are right.
hit.
So if I hit the second, stand up of this group over here, it'll know that I hit that one, and it will know at what time I hit that one because maybe it's a hurry up, and if I didn't hit it in time, I get your point. So that kind of difference, thing, right?
The time, because every pinball machine is going to track every switch hit, but it's the timing. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a cool feature.
It apparently keeps that in very great detail. Yeah.
So is that talking about the shot genie?
I've never heard of anything else, any other machine that does something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Is that the shot genie or suggested shot genie? What is that?
No, that's that card thing I mentioned where it tells you, here's the shots you can do. It's the thing that's like the compass on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. That nobody uses.
Except for instead of showing you one shot, it shows you multiples, and then the further. My understanding was the further you get into a mode or whatever, that it'll sort of help you focus on the important shots for that mode or something like that. Okay. But yeah, see here on the future features, play against a saved shot log. So imagine you have a challenge mode where it's like, beat Steve Bowden's score, right? Which, we're all going to fail miserably at, right? But imagine that there's some sort of challenge put out there, or you could, maybe you could challenge your friend, right? I put up this score in this amount of time, and here's the events, and maybe you can run their score up at the same time your score is running, kind of like a ghost on like a car racing game or something. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. Again, they didn't say any of these things. I'm just making wild ass guesses like the rest of the internet here. So.
I like that individuals with disabilities, they have virtual buttons for those people as well. That's nice. Load save game states. Video support calls.
Yeah, that one. I don't know about that because I don't recall seeing a camera anywhere on it, but that doesn't mean there wasn't one.
Multiplayer
not final.
Multiplayer video chat.
Yeah. So that's all in the future capabilities. So there's none of the stuff that we saw.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Due to technical difficulties or technical issues that Raza was experiencing, the pin bar interaction was what TWIP is calling glitchy. Steve Bowden showed many screenshots of planned features and displays, and it looks like this could be an incredible new feature emphasizing could. Did you guys not see this functioning?
No, we saw it functioning, absolutely. Again, there was some glitches with it. Not at liberty to get into the details of those, but it absolutely worked. We were able to do magna saves, stuff like that. So we were able to go on all the menus and look at stuff. So absolutely worked.
Did they think it was going to work, or they were expecting it to still be in the coding state?
No, I think what they're talking about, I think what Jeff's talking about there is the things that you could do from a notification and player information standpoint that they maybe hadn't implemented yet, right? Okay. So if you went back to that first shot of the pin bar there, you had the magna save, you had the or the stack of cards, I forget what they call it, shot wizard or whatever they called it, shot genie. And then you had that middle section there, right? That was more or less not quite an exact duplicate of the back, but they were coordinated though.
Okay.
So as events happen, you'd see something on the back that folks waiting to play and watching can see, and that the player themselves can see it as well. But it had little cards around it that if you're in a mode, maybe those different modes had different colors, and your progress in that mode would be reflected inside that little card and stuff like that. There's just all these different things you could do with it, right? It's not to say that it didn't work. It's just that maybe some of that wasn't all there just yet. It was like dreaming all the different possibilities that they want to do with it.
People in pinball lose their ever-loving mind using an action button. Do you know if when playing a lot of these games, did they talk about how much that pin bar will be used during gameplay?
It wasn't specifically discussed, but I'll say that what I saw in the game, the only thing you ever had to interact with during gameplay was just the magna save. That was it. It's not like there's like 70 buttons that show up and you think you're like flying a 747
I didn't
or
know
something.
if we're dealing
right?
with a virtual multimorphic where I'm playing the fucking keyboard there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. No, you don't want to use like the WAS and D to like navigate your way around a pinball machine.
Right. No, I do not want to deal with that. 2 buttons works. 2 buttons
Doom
works.
Pinball 2021, I call it.
I mean, give me some foot pedals, maybe, because that's another limb. But
nah, it was not interaction overload. It's again, the way I would view it is think of it as like almost augmented reality for pinball, and the fact that you're getting extra information there that normally you'd have to look up on a back box, and then sometimes you have to learn how to decipher it. Like like for example, Wonka.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I need a fucking decoder ring to figure out what the hell's going on in that back box, right? I mean, it's the kids are relatively obvious, but there's like small text in places, and you got to know that it's spinning 3 times a second, and that means this, and there's lots of things that if you own that machine, you eventually come to learn and know.
Mm-hmm.
The intention here is like blatantly obvious, very simple information displayed to you right by where your hands are. That's the gist, right?
Okay. Now, Kaneda's poking me and saying that there's going to be ads here, so get my flipping out banners ready. Already in the process, brother. I do like that. I like that there can be some advertisements, trailers, teases for additional games. I like that.
I'm presuming that's for if you have it on route. That would be my guess. I don't know that for sure. Again, not
Chandler,
something we discussed.
We'll figure out how to get the flipping out stuff on there. We'll figure that out. Let's talk about these playfields. There's a girl, Crystal.
Hashtag hammer.
That's right. So he's got his little hammer there.
Yep.
What are these wood things? What the hell is this?
They were like little guillotine type things, so that way the ball drops were consistent, right? Because you didn't want to have it where they drop it a half an inch off the playfield on one and all the way from up here on the other, right? So, we use those devices to, in a relatively scientific manner, drop balls. Yes, get your laughs out of the way.
Drop some balls.
You have to drop them balls onto the playfields and just see the difference between the one you see over there is a traditional playfield from Houston, and that's the newer one with the pin armor, as they call it.
Yeah. Okay. What was your impression of the playfield?
I mean, as far as the hammer test goes, it passed 100%. I mean, without question.
But to be fair, if I'm playing devil's advocate here, because that's my job, if the damn thing looked like a lemon or an orange peel, how do you know if it worked?
The way it was orange peeling was different than a nice round dimple that you would see from a ball, right? You could see the individual little specks of the orange peel. So it's hard to describe it until you see it. I know it sounds like a bunch of bullshit, but I'm telling you,
it worked.
I don't have any reason.
Yeah, you ain't got no investment or anything in here.
Lie, right?
Yeah,
it legit worked. Now again, as called out in the article, that comes at the cost of it having orange peel and raised on the art or on the insert art and stuff like that, right? So, it's one of those things where you can get a dimple-free playfield, but it comes at this cost, right? And is that necessarily what people are willing to trade for? I don't know. The market would have to say.
Okay. What the hell is this thing going on over here? Who's bringing in the big guns here? I'm impressed.
Yeah, we call that a camera.
We call that somebody knowing what the hell they're doing. Nicely done. I like it. Were they filming at that time? Like, what was the deal there?
Yep.
Okay. So this is deeproot filming, or like a production. This isn't one of the 6 guests.
No, it's not one of the 6 guests.
All right. So what are we looking at here? Just more.
Yeah. As Robert was going through and talking about the differences, and about to do a demonstration of hammering one versus hammering the other.
Okay.
So.
Very cool.
But yeah, hammer indeed was applied. It wasn't done gingerly. At the same time, nobody went WWE style on the thing either. So
somebody's setting up this Carl D'Angelo rig over here.
Yeah. They
Uh-huh.
they were hoping to do a little streaming perhaps at one point, but
Yeah. Do you know where they got the design for the head? They're fucking tables.
but you can't tell it. So those two rigs there. The reason why one of them is significantly bigger than the other, and they talk about this in the article.
Mm-hmm.
The smaller one holds the standard pinball.
Okay.
The bigger one holds this giant. I mean, it's I don't know, about yay big. I have no idea what to compare that to, but not quite a baseball, but it was significantly heavier than than a pinball.
Okay.
And dropping that on the standard playfield was you got two major divots because it would hit and then bounce, and even got to some extent with a regular pinball as well. In case you're wondering why there's two different gizmos there.
Makes sense. Now, Carrie Hardy says in chat, if people don't like the dimples, they are not going to like what the orange peel looks like.
Yeah, I would have to concur with that.
It looks like a dimpled playfield.
I wouldn't say it looks like a dimpled playfield, but it's definitely. I mean, the industry has become accustomed to having a glass smooth playfield.
Yes.
So until they get it to that point, my take is that they would probably want to look at it and refine it.
I've asked this to one of my co-hosts on the podcast before. Would you rather have a dimpled playfield or an orange peel playfield? It's kind of a trick question.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, ultimately, if it gets dimpled enough, it ends up being orange peel anyway. Right? So depends on your destination and how long it takes you to get there.
I'm going to let everybody know right now, this is my favorite innovation that I've seen by deeproot Pinball.
Yeah. Apparently there's, I think somebody, I forgot who mentioned that Gottlieb apparently did this back in the day. But the one critique we had was that there's not part numbers on every one of these.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, there may be numbers, like, B23, for example, right? But, having some of them have very specific part numbers, like, 496B RGB board. And you see that. Well, you can see that right next to that. You get the CJ4, blah, 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 So having that would be super cool, right? You go to replace something and, like, bam, you pull it off and there's your part number.
Yeah, I like this.
That's pretty sweet.
I do like this. And they are using Node board components. GI, that'd be Node. Well, I don't know. Okay. Looks pretty typical downstairs here. There's them.
Yeah, again, I mean, the thing to take home is that there's not,
it's a pinball machine.
If you flip the playfield up and you're going to look at it and go, yeah, it's a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Again, do some of the boards look a little different? Sure, but not dramatically so, right? It's just,
Robert talked to you guys about this being an early version of the Pin Armor. I could have swore that I have heard the company Pin Armor before. Did they buy a company that was making mods and pinball called Pin Armor? I could have swore there was a company making like covers or something with Pin Armor.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay. But Jeff alludes to here, the ball seems to roll normally, act normally as it would on any other playfield. Okay.
Yeah, because that was our immediate concern, right? So we did sort of incline it and, roll the ball down, roll it slowly, so on and so forth. I didn't see any significant movement or any movement I could see at all in the ball. So, but. Did I lose you? Can't hear you there, Zach.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry, I was tweaking that camera. Kinnaid was asking a good question. Did you see any soldering on the games when you flipped them up? Is it a typical there, or is it a plug-and-play system, or how do you repair this?
They were really big on everything being connector-based, right? So there's, Molex style connectors on pretty much everything.
Okay. So, I mean, and Stern's been doing that lately, which is really helpful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's nothing sucks more than having a vertical play field and having to solder and crap dribbles down there.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so we've touched on audio. You said it sounds damn good.
Mm-hmm.
These vents, though, Bobby.
Well, so yeah, the intention there is it's supposed to apparently blow sound up your body or something. I don't know. I didn't.
Balls.
I'm not an acoustic engineer, but
Did you notice it vibrating your pantalones?
No, okay. I did not.
Okay. I need to talk to Bobby about this black coin door that bugs the shit out of me. And Carrie Hardy, you should have ripped these damn plastic. Who put this pin together? Why do they have the front legs jacked up, Chandler? The hell? It's like on a sloped carpet or something? Sorry. I don't get some of these things. Like, this is a clusterfuck of a picture for me. And it's not innovation. It's just weird. Like, this is what scares me, Chandler. Listener, viewer, this is the kind of stuff that scares me. Because if I were to walk in and look at something like this, and I see the front legs of a pinball machine jacked up, I see somebody using plastic cabinet protectors that tear up a cabinet. Why even add them? This is a new cabinet. Put the metal ones back there. I see vents that look a bit unfinished, and flanked right beside them is a black coin door. Nothing else on the trim level is black. That's what worries me. Then I look up at this pin bar and I'm like, is that even really manufactured the way that I'm going to like it? If I'm not liking the small, easy to catch details here, it's that kind of stuff that just kind of scares me.
Yeah.
It looks cool, but some of this shit it's weird. Just weird. Okay. Sorry. Rant over. Rant over. Electrical. I'm not.
Yeah, we did not get into any of this.
Yeah, it's a computer. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, we're gonna have issues. Okay. The pin bar is 19-inch cut panel with. Can I say that word?
Capacitive touch overlay.
You're a fucking stud. Okay. We're going to skip that. I do like dongle. I can say that.
Dual dongles, by the way.
Why is that important?
I don't know.
Wi-Fi dongles to deal with the demanding internet online connectivity needs for an omni-channel worldwide access. Bye. I guess.
Yeah, that one was lost on me.
Okay.
But
so sleep mode when it's not in use, just like most other devices in your home, reduces electrical and power when not in use. Okay.
It's interesting.
Sounds good to me. One person setup. Okay.
Yeah. So the gist is, and this would make your challenges with Greg around, who can set up the pin quicker versus eating a pizza or whatever.
Yeah.
Make it a slam dunk. So the idea is you put your front legs on as normal. And then there's a whole thing that apparently, and we didn't get to see it because, like they say, they're going to show it at Expo, but there's a little thing that apparently makes standing the backside up without having to kill yourself and try to balance it and put legs on at the same time or whatever. Didn't get to see it, so can't speak to the details, but that's the gist. And what's interesting is apparently it's universal.
Okay. So it is mounted to the bottom of this pinball machine standard. Is it like a...
Well, again, I didn't see it, so I can't tell you.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what in the hell it could be, though. Like a...
It sounded like it was something that flipped out, whenever you lifted up the bottom of the the back of the cabinet. So where you would normally go, put it on a chair or something and then put the legs on, it sounded like it was something that would flip out from underneath.
You're still going to have to bend down and pick the damn thing up and then kick out this,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said. So apparently they're going to show it at Expo. Virtual Expo.
Virtual Expo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they specifically chose not to show that to us so they could show it during Expo.
Robert, you gotta show up to the Virtual Expo. I don't need any more delays here. I want this all to work. I want this to be one of the greatest pinball experiences of my lifetime.
Well, and that's really what it's all about, right? Is he's trying to fix all these annoyances. So that's the gist.
But you can fix annoyances, but if you're bringing on more, then look how shitty this looks, y'all. Robert's gonna call me and be like, "You son of a bitch." What? What? And Home Depot is happening here. Is that under the shooter house? No,
I was gonna say it looks like it's under the shooter. If I'm seeing it right, I don't know.
Does that not stick out like a sore thumb there? Look, here's the other thing. If you're gonna have that ugly ass black coin door, paint these damn things black too. All right, I'll stop with the whole that thing. Love you, Bobby Pinball. Love you, Bobby Pinball. All right. One person setup is going to be demonstrated. So lifting the back of the machine to install and bolt the rear legs, vice versa. Once done, the application could be stored underneath the machine or removed. So if you're storing it underneath the machine, then it is not attached. Stored underneath the machine.
Well, he said something about, the attachment plate should be compatible with the majority of other. Oh, so if I'm reading that, what I think that means is there's a plate that goes on the machine, and then this thing is a doodad that helps lift it and hold it up. So I wonder if it's some sort of like,
a jack or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a Formula One fan, and they have these jacks that they use to it looks like a dolly almost, right? And you sort of use that to lift the front of the car up. I wonder if it's something. That.
For all of you guys that put pinball machines out of the box together, or if you transport it vertically, picture what. That's why I'm getting confused. You put the front two legs on, right?
Yep.
You put it down to the ground, ass into sitting on the ground.
Yep.
How would one then get under this machine to jack it up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to have access to it from the side or something almost, right? Or I don't know.
I don't know how that would even work. Okay.
Don't bring physics. Don't bring physics into this, man.
Yeah, right. All right. Assisted leveling, that's cool. Basically, it's going to let you know, kind of like the multimorphic left or right, up and down, probably on that pin bar if I had to guess.
The way they described it was it would automatically level it. They had some sort of mechanics, and then again, that was another thing we didn't get to see. But
that's cool. If that's the case, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the turtle approach reference. That's nice.
Yeah. My back hurt when he started talking about it. I was like, oh shit, we've all done that.
What is this John Papa Duke Theater of Magic shit here? The Pin Pod.
Well, see, when we arrived, Robert popped out of the top of it.
That's awesome. Okay.
No. It would have been awesome if he did, but that didn't happen.
Oh, you just ruined it. That would have been great. This looks like some Harry Houdini shit right here.
Well, it's interesting. It's basically like a customized. I wouldn't say it's a pallet because it's a solid piece.
It's great.
But and then 4 pieces of ply that are already routed out and everything to like fit together.
Yeah, it's great.
I
want this. This is.
If you go to shows, like I gotta think this thing would be, like invaluable, right? That it just.
Yes. This is why I don't sell used pinball machines right here, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want to do that each and every time. And that's the only way to properly ensure a used pinball machine is to crate the damn thing up. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. And so, those little bracket things, you use this just really simple tool to pop them off and on, or pop them off, and then to put them on, you sort of put them around.
I love that the things that excite me the most are probably the cheapest things. I like this, and I like the printing on the bottom of the playfield. Okay. So it is what it is. You see it, Pin Pod. Yeah. That's cool. I wonder if every deeproot game is going to come in one of those. Let's see here.
Yes.
Reusable pinball storage and shipping container. Optional. Okay. Optional. Okay. Just saying, Bobby Pinball. That'd be cool to make that a feature on the biggest edition, the nicest edition. All right. The tour group did not see the one-person setup or assisted leveling. We did see the Pin Pod, and it worked well overall and seemed like a heavy-duty way to safely move a pinball machine. Okay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And there's also the the little it's got like giant like rubber feet on it, that kind of made it easy to scoot around and things like that. Anti-vibration feet there. Yeah, those little orange guys there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to put Dennis Creasel in one of these pin pods, and we're going to ship his ass to TPF next year. We're going to see if
you put a Gottlieb in there, and then you put him next to the Gottlieb.
That's right.
And then you ship it out.
Uh-huh. All right. Some of the features that they are planning. Interesting that Jeffrey put 2021. Okay. First, the AE system is expected to be enabled for all machines equipped with deeproot full range 4. Okay, I don't even know what this means.
So AE is that the front speaker things that was it audio extension? It's somewhere else in the thing. But.
Okay. All right. So that's okay. So you get that when you get that 4.1 system. It doesn't sound like that's coming until 2021.
Well, for all machines equipped with the 4.1 system, that's things. There's options that you can choose to, based off. And that's later down, but what each machine gets and.
Yeah, and whether you know or not, you don't even have to answer. But my thoughts are, okay, but if I want one for Raza, do I have to wait till 2021? And if that's the case, maybe they're not planning on shipping until 2021 regardless. I don't know. It brings up a lot of questions there. Yeah. Second, we will add ambient light, auto-adjusting to the new game. I hate that idea because it sounds nice, but have you guys ever had one of those damn systems, like on this piece of shit? Whenever this ambient light, oh my, makes me so mad. Hate it.
Well, I think when they say ambient light, I think they're talking about the Pin Stadium functionality. I think that's what they're talking about.
All right. Haptic feedback. So you're going to get this lockdown bar to vibrate.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Is that Mrs. Chandler? I hope she wrings your neck here in a minute.
She's probably yelling at the kids.
All right, software. I'm going to spare you guys. You guys can go back and read that. Cool shit. Omnichannel allows you to access.
So this is basically the online cloud stuff, and
that we've kind of expected somebody to do it at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Blah, blah, blah. Shot logs, scoring features. It's all very impressive. Read through this whenever you get time. This Week in Pinball did an extraordinary job laying this out. And if it was just given to him to lay out, then deeproot did an extraordinary. Whoever did it did a really good job with this.
It was Jeff. Jeff put a lot of time into it.
He does great when it comes to this, like the deep dives and stuff like that. I remember, man, knowing how much freaking time he put into that stuff. All right. He's probably been working on this for a bit, too. It's nicely done. 3-model system. So we've got more ways to confuse, and this is not deeproot's fault. This is everybody's fault for not having similar language. So we've got an arcade edition. That's the budget version. I like the name of it. I like arcade edition. Little confusing, but I don't mind that. The X edition introduces our floating back bar aesthetic with upgrades over the AE. They don't. That's the X edition. The X
that's the mid-range one.
So there's an X edition and an extra. It's just that. It's a limited run, numerically.
Yeah, so that's their LE, basically.
Okay.
So that's the fully pimped out, like, all the things. So it says all the extra luxury add-ons.
What are the 3 models called? Arcade, Extra, and then X Edition? Shit, I thought it was easy. All right. These editions were first. Customization is easy and allows you to have power over your purchasing cost, which is, in return, I fear, going to take more time. Games may have 1 version, 2 versions, or all 3 versions available. Nice, I like that. Customization is easy and allows the customer to have power over the purchase and cost. Simply tells me that we're going to have online ordering for the most part. Can we get into the plan titles?
Let's do it.
All right. Last thing, and then
I can't tell you anything other than what's on here, but
absolutely. All right. I'm going to be honest with all of these for better or worse. Okay. Can you still hear me, Chris?
Sure can.
Okay, I had a cord messing up here. All right.
By the way, your battery light is blinking on your camera.
Thank you. All right, reading through the chat. Let's see. Is there anything I missed? Okay. All right, top rope's in the house. What's happening, top rope? All right, so I'm going to let you guys, as I change my battery, read the details of Fire and Brimstone. Pray for your life, multi-ball.
I will say that the mention of this being the first multi-denominational religious pinball game actually had somebody legitimately laugh out loud very briefly. Not sure if that's like a PTSD reaction or what, but yeah. And as you can see, this is one that Robert is designing himself. Obviously, not 100% independently. I'm sure he's got some help from his other folks, but.
So what were you saying here? I missed that.
Just that Fire and Brimstone. Robert is the designer, the primary designer on it. I'm sure he's getting some help from other folks.
Good for him, though. Paul's there. Good for him. Because if I was putting this much time and money, my ass would be designing pins too. I don't want to hear nobody hating on Robert Mueller design. If the dude wants to design a pin, you damn right I'll be designing a pin. If I was Gary Stern, my ass be designing pins. If I was Jersey Jack, my ass be designing pins. All right, sorry.
Well, and as much as people want to bag on it being a religious based theme, thing is, there's a lot of religious summer camps, right? And they stock things for kids to do. So I don't know. Maybe that's a market that hasn't been tapped. I don't know. Are you going to sell you a billion of these things? No, but
it's still odd to me.
Yeah, it's not wouldn't be my first option.
Who follows primarily the Old Testament anyway? I mean, even Christians.
Judaism is based off the Old Testament.
Okay, so is it focused more towards Judaism then? Or I thought I read somewhere that you get to first multi-denominational. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of religious stuff. Okay. I made a joke today that I think was probably pretty gold. I said that instead of choosing your buccaneer, your pirate, or your house, maybe you choose your religion when you start the game. Right? See, come on. Wish I had. Come on. Bye. That's pretty damn funny. Oh, what? Well, that was good.
Maybe you meant pray.
Pray. All right. Here's the one people are talking about.
People love the food truck. Can't get enough of the food truck. More food truck.
Food truck. If you were to name 100 themes that you would like to see done, original themes, Robert Mueller, original themes, who in the hell would have named food truck? I think people would have picked snakes and spiders before they would have food truck. Even maybe boogers and poop before they would food truck. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those could be modes within food truck. We don't know. Wrong.
I don't know. I just don't know. I saw this. First thing I felt when I saw this, man. Oh, my God. Robert, dude, what are you smoking? Food truck? All right. Maybe it's fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what game's fun and awesome I don't give two shits about? Dialed In.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is people always talk about theme and how great, how important theme is, but, one example I'll use is Pirates. I could give zero fucks about Pirates, but as a movie franchise, but, that's a fun game.
That's a good argument to make. I'll spare the time from arguing against it, but food truck. So you're getting the orders filled quickly and accurately to keep your social media reviews up. Got to keep that Yelp score up. Maximize your scores. Watch out because the Roach Coach will try to steal your customers and look for any opportunity to post bad reviews and sabotage your business. The features on this are just some all-around cool toys, mechs, along with a fast-paced visual ordering queue.
So basically, overcooked the pinball machine is what I took away from it.
Meaning?
What, the game Overcooked? Have you not played that?
No, I don't know that one.
It's known as like the divorce maker. I'm sure chat will start going crazy with it. But yeah, Overcooked is this game where you have to make dishes to serve to people, and each person has to have their own certain thing that they do, and if you don't do it all together, you end up failing, and everybody's like, get the sushi wrapper, no, get the tuna. Like people are screaming and yelling at each other, and it's that's what I thought whenever I heard this.
Yeah, Robert, I'll probably buy one of your games. I might buy several games. Food Truck will not be one of them. Nope. And a good follow-up to that is Merlin's Arcade. So this one's interesting because we see a lot of, I think they're trying to go old school here.
I'm kind of confused as why the scores are smeared out, but
yeah, that's interesting as well.
I don't know what that means.
Or the 3/4. 1/4. Good versus evil. We've got mixing. I don't like when we mix up media. We've got 2D art and 3D up here. Nope, another miss for me. This is Norris, Medieval Arcade Olympics set in the 80s. In the 80s? Which 80s? Train with Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table battle Morgan Le Fay to regain the Holy Poppin' Grail. Man. So these kind of original themes are going to do one of two things. They're going to be so cleverly written and poking fun at themselves that they're going to be ironic, they're going to be satirical, they're going to be hilarious, a la Medieval Madness. Or they are going to fucking flop like Punny Factory.
Yeah,
those are your two choices.
It's pretty digital. It's either going to be like number 3 on Pinside or number 333 on Pinside.
This is based on the 8-Ball Deluxe with flow. 8-Ball Deluxe doesn't have a lot of flow, a lot of drop targets and stuff. Precision around new mechs, a unique gameplay heads-up display. Okay. Yep, don't want that one. Isn't that weird that we can... look, it's 2020, you guys. This is what we do. Theme is a lot. Theme is a lot in this game. Or in this industry. Look at these pretty guys. The Who.
Yeah, I know a lot of people will be excited for this, but I'm not a dad rock pin kind of guy.
Did you just talk about Food Truck and then talk down The Who? Is that what just happened right there?
Yep.
The Who. The Who plays good music. I like The Who. Didn't they do Bob O'Reilly? I think so. Take the legendary band The Who on an amazing journey in the search of the pinball wizard. Careful. Some unique mechs. Some. I would have got rid of some. Unique mechs and special effects round out this musical spectacle. That could be cool. I like Orsler games. That could be cool. Did anybody ever figure out the damn guy's name is Ousler or Orsler? God, it's like the biggest mystery at deeproot. Gladiator. Now this looks pretty cool.
Spend a little time looking at that loin plate there, man. Do we need to have a discussion?
You broke a piece off right there. Yeah. I hope he doesn't try to do a barrel roll. That thing is going to go right in his pit. Right. You play as Sepsis. This is what happens when you get poked by one of those claws. Septimus Prime, and captured slave who must rise in the ranks of the gladiators of Rome. Hone your inner bone skills. Kill the senators and overthrow the emperor who killed your family. Bastards. And enslaved you. Almost sounds like a film I've heard of called Gladiator. Man. It's based on the 3D Space Cadet layout. So this is our
that's the part that's interesting, is them taking the old Microsoft 3D Space Cadet and turning it into a physical pin.
Mm-hmm. The first virtual table converted to a physical layout. Subways galore.
Although technically that's not true. There's the people that did Time Shock.
Yeah. I thought there was another one as well. Okay. So Gladiator, it's got potential. It's better than Lexi Lightspeed. It's a better theme than that. It's got potential. I'm not shitting on that one yet. That loin plate, though. This is the one that I wanted so bad to maybe be different. Yukon Yeti, trademark. I'm going to give deeproot Pinball a shitload of credit for the title of this game. The title is gold. Yukon Yeti, get out of here. Do people want a follow-up to Whitewater? That might sell as an original theme. That really, really might sell. We've got Nordman and Mueller designing this. I presume and I assume that Mueller jumped in when Nordman jumped ship and finished this game out, if I had to guess. So the concept is a goofy and lighthearted game. Oh, why? The mischievous and lovable teenage Yukon Yeti feuds with gold miners against the backdrop of the 1890s Yukon Gold Rush. Okay. Damn it. They're close. What is this thing? Chandler, what is that?
I don't know, but it apparently likes pizza.
I like pizza.
That one likes pie.
That's good artwork right there. It's actually really good artwork. That's not good artwork. And that is good artwork.
Looks kind of like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes, yeah. Okay. This could be cool. I'm not out on this one. I like the
Is it because of the Yeti nips and the one in the bottom center there?
Let's see him. I like those backwards 9s and G's. I lick them. All right, so who doesn't want a sequel to Whitewater, new mechs, and the great multi-level flow you expect from the original? Man, I'm wondering if they get licensing rights for that.
Well, I think that's why you're seeing it with a different theme, right? I mean, as far as I know, you can't copyright if it's in the spirit and the vein and the theme of an existing playfield, but not an outright copy of the playfield.
No, I'm talking about just the license that is Whitewater.
I think that's the thing. Is the way I read this is we're not licensing Whitewater.
They call it a sequel to Whitewater. That is indicating that indication that is a thing. They have to have the license to that, or the ability to share or to use that license. I would guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Machine Age by Nordman. You're dropping.
Yeah, this was one that that folks there, involved with the code aspects, were really excited about. They couldn't really elaborate on the details of it, but they were actually. This is one of the ones they thought, set out of all of them, this is one that they're really passionate about.
Gotcha. Okay, so there was some internal hype on this one.
Correct.
The concept is if you were dropped into a battle spanning ages, beings, and time itself. Help two diesel punk heroes take on the world's greatest threat in this dystopian thriller with the help of a mystery ally. Features an open layout with 3 first ever mechs, stunning video game quality animations. Machine Age. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of Egyptian references. Time. We got ships. Okay. I can get behind that for now. This game is to be determined, but I think it's going into the deeproot. I think that's what it is.
No, it says under features a re-envisioning of the classic black hole.
Okay. Groundbreaking mech that redefines multi-level play fields. Is Robert doing the old switcheroo on us here? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Space pirates keep order in the cosmos by causing nightmares for the villainous trade syndicates. Progress from grunt to captain in this cosmic keep what you steal epic. Okay. All right. We'll have to see. To be determined. He likes space. We got space. You got Raza, space. A lot of sci-fi, a lot of...
He said in the past he's a sci-fi, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah. Fucking food truck. All right. What are we missing here? Oh, snap.
Yep.
There she is. The one, the only, the magic girl. I got to watch my hands. Sorry. Okay.
CYOA World.
What is that?
Cover your own ass. I don't know. What does that mean?
I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means. Hundreds of plays to win?
Oh, maybe it's like a roguelike or something where you come back into it or something.
I hope so. That would be cool.
Oh, choose your own adventure. Okay.
Choose your own. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Cover your own ass is better. I like it. All right. So, Magic Girl.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm excited about Magic Girl. Even just the looks at the one that didn't work seemed pretty cool to me. I like the theming of Magic Girl. That's not Magic Girl. It's the new Magic Girl 2.0.
Yeah, it seems to be reimagined art.
Yeah, she's no Zombie Yeti Magic Girl. That's okay. I still like the theming. I still like the colors they use. Hopefully they'll, mimic a lot of that stuff. The Elixir of Immortality. Papa-doop.
I think that was that Bud Light we were drinking earlier, right?
What's that?
The Elixir of Immortality?
Yeah, that's right. And then the thing that gave me a straight erection today, midday erection, was a simple phrase that says, "Hey, you guys." Now, maybe I'm reading into it too much, Chandler. Maybe. But other titles in development include Alice, combative racing license, what is multiplex? Is that shopping? What is that? Movies?
Movies, maybe. I don't know. That's what I would think of when I think multiplex.
A popular board game license. Give me a Risk or Sorry. Okay. Then I see 80s movie license. And then I go back up. And I read fucking "Hey, you guys," which is one of the most iconic phrases from the dream theme of all time for me. And that's the Goonies, ladies and gentlemen. The fucking Goonies. Okay. So, if it took me buying 3 of these shit games to get the Goonies, I'd do it. So you totally redeem yourself if deeproot Pinball has the Goonies. Sold? Sold. That's it. That's all I need. That's what themes do. That is what themes do.
Bye, bye, bye.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Kaneda, I hope not. No, you can't tease us with this and give us something else. You cannot tease us. Hey, you guys. No. No. You can't. What do you think if they have the Goonies license? We see no other license here, Chandler.
I don't know.
Think the Goonies
maybe it's from Xanadu. Who knows?
Like, I will burn a Xanadu pin if that's what it is. This better not be a troll. This better not be a troll. What the hell? Who's calling in right now? I'm not answering the phone. What is this? Oh, I lost Chandler. Did I got you guys still in chat, or did I lose you? Chandler, you still there? I got too excited about the hey, you guys. All right, thanks, Chris. How? How did Deeproot secure the rights to the Goonies? There's nothing in my mind that even wants to make sense of any of that. You still there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the office computer, which is cut off for the kids at 10 o'clock.
Self-imposed timer, gotcha.
Is that,
Okay.
yeah, so I had to just go and lock myself. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I was just having a midnight wetness here talking about the Goonies. And I'm assuming it's the Goonies because it says, hey, you guys. And there's no reason to put a damn slideshow in the middle of your presentation that says, hey, you guys, period, dot. It's the Goonies. Until I'm told otherwise, it's the Goonies. I have now officially purchased a pinball machine from Deeproot. My first one. It's called the Goonies. Robert, don't fuck this up. Deeproot, don't fuck this up. Don't put this in the purgatory that is Alien Pinball or the Big Lebowski. Please, please, for everything that's important in pinball to me, don't fuck this up. This does so much for me. You guys don't understand. All right. What did we miss? I'm a supporter of Deeproot now. I don't care of how much fun I made fun of these cock vents. I don't care. How Chandler, if they got the Goonies, how do you come in as a new company like this and get the Goonies? And if that's the case, shame on you, Stern Pinball. Shame on you, Jersey Jack Pinball. Shame on you, CGC. Shame on you, Spooky Pinball. Unacceptable. If Deeproot can come in under the radar and have nothing built and have no manufacturing setup, and they secure the rights to one of the greatest films of all time, not to mention your primary buyers, just their childhood, and you didn't secure that license and Deeproot can, that's more shame on you than it is anything that you could say negative about Deeproot in this entire discussion, in my opinion.
Well, there's a lot of people who have the argument of whether or not things escaped the 80s, right? And, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was, maybe I'm a little too old for it or something, but Goonies is okay.
Christopher Chandler.
Yes.
Really?
Doesn't hold up.
Oh, my God. All right. Okay.
There, I said it.
All right. Fucking Michael Jordan's a horrible basketball player, too. Okay. Doesn't hold up. Nobody, and we'll log off here. Nobody's allowed to say that the Goonies doesn't hold up and say anything positive about fucking Fire and Brimstone, Food Truck, Merlin's Arcade, Gladiator, Yukon Yeti, Machine Aid, Title 2 PT, and Magic Girl. No. Doesn't.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If I got to stack rank those things, without question. But I don't know. I guess I just don't have the Woody for it that a lot of people do.
Fair enough.
You know
I love you.
Themes are to the individual, right?
Yeah, you're the one that's in our group chat and stuff that pushes the original stuff, aren't you? There's somebody in TPN's group chat or the correspondent group chat. Don't am I wrong?
I'm definitely like a System 11 type guy. Okay. I like a lot of the older pins. Back when things were original themes, but I'm also not part of the group that says, oh, everything should be original themes because, we're tired of seeing Avengers done for the 73rd time or whatever.
Yeah.
I think in today's market, you got to have a theme, right? I mean, again, I know this has been said a million times before, but look at Spooky and look at what happened with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Scott's a great designer. Spooky's a great company. under no other circumstances would they have sold out 750 units in 4 hours if it wasn't for that theme.
Absolutely. You're correct.
100%. So now that doesn't mean that you can't make a pin like, let's say, Fire and Brimstone that is like for a very niche market, and you're only going to sell 200 or whatever that number may be. And if you can make a business doing that, then that's fine. You may not have to be, your objective may not be to go overtake Stern for market share, right?
So you may not have come out publicly saying that is their goal. That is their goal is to sell more pinball machines in a given year than all of the manufacturers combined. That is their publicly stated goal.
Yeah, and they were also going to ship 17 pins each year and so on and so forth, right? I think you're going to see a lot of that get walked back, right?
Well,
we're no longer hearing that pinball's easy, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do wish them the very best. I think a lot of the stuff that they have planned out here, that they have laid out here, particularly stuff like that, it's great. It's really good. I like the concept and the idea of the pin pad here. Or what is it called?
Pin bar.
Shit.
TM.
I went pin pad. There are some things that I question. There being so many pinball people in one area that they let things go. But there's some cool stuff. There's some visually stunning stuff. Pinball is about gameplay and it's about code. And those are two things that we don't have the capabilities of experiencing right now. So
correct.
Visually, from what we're seeing, it's a mixed bag for me. The way they've presented everything and held themselves, that has been a very, very, very negative entrance into this industry. If you can back it up, then it's totally fine. Talk all the shit you want on the court if you can back it up. Jordan did it all the time. But, if you're Keith Bogans, maybe not talk as much shit. But having said that, they have the Goonies. I'm a buyer. And if their plan is to not sell that many pins, Fire and Brimstone will do it. Food Truck will do it. Merlin's Arcade will do it. I don't care how great these pins are. I don't care, if they're fitting into a standard cabinet of a pinball machine, it's going to be hard to care how much they are. Unless you can program these things yourselves or the pinball community can reprogram these things, then you might have an open source good thing. Or unless they have some of the funniest fucking people that have ever entered into the industry of pinball that can do these stories and themes justice.
Yeah. Well, and that is part of what they brought Quinn in for, right? Is to help with that.
Okay. We'll see what you got, Quinn. I want to meet Quinn. I want to hang out with Quinn.
Quinn was a cool guy, I have to say.
I've heard really good things about Quinn, so.
Yeah.
It's
good. He's a good dude.
Hey, Yukon Yeti actually, I'm like
in the right hands. Yeah, I mean, would I be thrilled about it? No, but I could. Again, it's like I could see the market for it. Not for me, but
I'm just sold on the name. Damn, that's a good name. All right,
but yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, the thing I came away with over the whole weekend is the pieces are there, right? You can see what they've been working on. The challenge is just that you gotta it's like being a chef, right? You can have all the right ingredients, and if you put too much garlic in it, the whole dish is off. So it's just a matter of them. It's really down to sort of that spit, polish, refinement, togetherness, cohesiveness. That I think which by the way is hard. Right. Whenever you go broad with the number of features you implement and the amount of problems that you try to solve, each one of those adds complications, right? That little foot bar thing that we talked about earlier. Okay, that's another thing you got to figure out whenever you're assembling the thing.
Yeah.
What part of the stage does that come in? And so
which is why everybody's
you have to look at these things to say, does that add enough value, and is there enough care about to bother with that, or do we maybe wait? Can we ship a core pinball experience to start, learn how to manufacture, learn how to build, get all that stuff done, then let's bring in a pin bar. Then let's,
have online connectivity. Then, I think what happened is what in the software industry we call scope creep, right? Where just the amount of things that they wanted to tackle just got so broad that it was hard to get it all over the finish line together.
It's a good way to put it.
It's my Tuesday morning quarterbacking on it.
If I was armchair quarterbacking, which I've got a big mouth and a microphone, so why not? I get ripped on enough for doing so. If I'm Robert Mueller, I stop what I'm doing and I continue working on Raza. You've already popped the cherry on that thing. You continue working on Raza. You take all of your other games. You take Fire and Brimstone. You take Food Truck. You take Merlin's Arcade. The Who's Fine. You take Gladiator. I'm going to keep Yukon Yeti for now. You take Machine Age. You take the TBD, and you shelve Magic Girl. But you take all of those, and you stop everything with them. You take whatever resources you have, whatever money you have, and you start buying licenses. And you retheme every one of these damn shit licenses to actual licenses that people want. I don't even care. Oh, the camera went out. I don't even care if they're not as good a license. Don't care. An actual movie, an actual TV show is better than these.
Yeah, I mean, again, in this age, it's really hard to see how you go without a license, right? I mean, TNA is like the lone exception I can think of in recent time.
It only sold 550. Robert Mueller's needing to sell more than 550. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
No,
exactly. I mean, you run the math on it. There's a lot of units they got to sell just to even break even with.
If they got all these white woods, make use of them. Cheese grater, all the art down, start over, get yourself some 80s horror films, right? There's some cheap licenses out there. Think about it. I guarantee you there's some licenses out there that are $50,000.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you. Some cult classics, $50,000, $100,000. It's ignorance. I don't know enough about this industry apparently, but that I would never think of. Would never happen. But
it's generated a lot of buzz, Zach.
The guy is a lot wealthier and a lot more successful than I am, so apparently he's doing something right. So I can't hate too much. I mean, that's sour grapes. He's doing something right to get where he's at right now. So I'll back it up because he's got the Goonies license. I'm in. I am in. Please don't mess it up. Anything else you want to close on, Chandler?
No, I mean, other than just what I started off with, I mean, can't thank them enough for having us all go out and visit.
Absolutely.
And again, they were really, hospitality was through the roof, and I wish it would have played out differently in multiple ways. Not just not being able to launch, but things that happened after that, and then the sort of forced reveal, and it sucks to work all this time on it and then not be able to control the narrative. But I don't know.
I think it was very, very nice to bring and not only invite people, but to pay their way. I've been in several situations in this industry where I've put work in, and I don't see Robert Mueller being the way that that I've experienced in the past. So yeah, paying and all that's unbelievably kind, and it's a good indication of probably who he is. I can't wait to meet the guy. Can't wait to meet the rest of the team there. For the most part, I'm having fun here. I'm poking and pissing and shitting over here. We're having fun. I do wish them the best because more good pinball is good for me. And as a dealer, you guys know I'm looking to always buy, and sell. So I wish them all the best. I appreciate you going down there, Chandler. That means the world to not only myself, but I echo that from everybody at the Pinball Network that went down there, including all the other 5 individuals that went down there as well. You guys are, it's people like you that are helping the community, not just the industry and the moneymakers in this community, but the actual community and the camaraderie between us all as a family. It's corny, it's hokey, but nonetheless, it is still true. So if you're looking for your deeproot machine, I don't know where the fuck to buy it. I don't even know how much it costs. So I'd love to say you buy it from Flipping Out Pinball, but unfortunately, trading down this week is hopefully the prices on deeproot pinball machines. When will we know? I'm not sure. Are we going to be doing a lot of sell? Or is it going to be more Yukon Yeti and the Goonies with buy? You tell me, only time is going to tell. Is that time going to be 2020, ladies and gentlemen? Or is it going to be 2024? I don't know. I sure as hell don't know. Oh, for Chris Chandler, I'm Zach Meny. I'll see you guys later. Chandler, I love you, buddy. Thanks so much for being in here and hanging out with everybody in chat. Fucking love you guys, too. Buy your next pinball machine for me. Shit, sweating here. Haven't eaten dinner. Give a guy a chance. See you guys.
What if they're holding out on fire and brimstone?
Fire and brimstone. Choose your religion. Atheism, wizard mode.